All right, so we just got done watching The Swimmers. So this is a Thai horror film that came out in 2014. I've seen this film like 3 times.
I've seen it twice.
Oh, you've seen it twice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I showed you the first time. What was your first initial reaction versus the second viewing?
I think the second time I picked up more information. The first time it feels just like a classic Thai horror.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Thai horrors are like very young people. I don't know. It's kind of the same concept too, but I liked it better the second time, I think.
Really? I think I liked it better the first viewing. The more I watched it, I feel like the weaker the film felt. And I'll get into that a little later. But I think we should do a little intro first on what the movie is. Because this is a really unknown movie.
Is it?
Like, it's really under the radar. Nobody really knows about this film. I never hear about it. I never see videos about it. But I think it's underrated a little bit because nobody has seen it. I think the plot is interesting. It's very similar to The Challengers, which just came out this year. It's about two best friends. They're swimmers. They compete with each other. And they both like the same girl, pretty much. Just like The Challengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after watching The Challengers, that's why I wanted to come back and rewatch this film to see, like, if it holds up or if it's still, what I thought it was. So if you're looking for a Asian horror film to watch this Halloween, we would suggest you watch The Swimmers because it's a very good movie. I feel like it's a really fun time. There's some scary parts in there, so it's perfect for Halloween if you're looking for something to watch that you haven't seen before.
I think it's scary, but not too scary. It's scary. I think it has a good storyline, and I felt like I was engaged with the movie the whole time.
There's two guy characters. They're best friends, but they're also competing in their swim
championship.
What is that called? The swimming competitions.
Yeah.
The main guy is the bad guy.
Yeah, the main guy is the bad guy.
So the main guy is the bad guy. His name is Perf. And then the other guy, his friend, is Tan. Wasn't it Tan?
Yeah. It was Tan.
Perf and Tan. So Tan, he's the good guy, he's rich. He has a girlfriend. His girlfriend is Ice. So in the beginning of the movie, they start out together, and his friend Perf likes his girlfriend. So that's how the movie starts off.
Actually, I don't know if I want to label them good and bad guys. Because I can argue that Tan is also a bad guy.
What did he do?
He beat up the other guy.
Well, I think...
See,
we'll get into spoilers because I have a theory on that. So Tan, he's like the fastest swimmer in Thailand, right? So he's like always a second faster than Perf. So like Perf always comes in second, Tan always comes in first. So that's already like a tension building there where it's like, damn, I want to beat him, and then on top of that, it's like, ooh, I want his girlfriend now. So like that whole thing builds up in the beginning of the film. It's rather quickly actually because this film sort of jumps back and forth between the real time and what happened in the past. So it's kind of a mystery. You don't know.
Like The Challenger.
Yeah, it's just like The Challengers.
Yeah.
So it's a mystery of you don't really know what happened. You just know like some crazy shit went down and you're trying to piece it all together. So that's what makes the movie pretty intriguing and interesting. And that's how it really gets you engaged. But see, I feel like that's probably why my second and third viewing I didn't feel like it was as good as the first viewing, because the first viewing's like a little bit more interesting.
Basically, what the movie is about is these two friends who are on the swimming team competing, and they like the same girl. Eventually, I think I'm going to spoil it. Eventually, the girl dies, and then we kind of see what happens after that. So in short, that's what the movie's about.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get into spoilers. If you have not seen the film and want to watch it, go ahead and pause our video here, go watch it, and come back and watch our video when you're done so we can all have a discussion on what we think happened and, thoughts and theories. So, back to what I was saying. I have a theory that Tan always knew it was Perf, but he wanted him to confess.
He wanted him to suffer.
He wanted him to confess because he didn't know exactly what happened. You know, he only knows that he was involved, that Perf was involved. So, like, he wanted to, like, kind of guilt trip him into, like, confessing everything. So that's why he beat up that guy. He knew it wasn't that guy, in my opinion. What do you think?
I also felt like he knew,
Yeah.
but I can't confirm it. So I understand your theory, but I can't fully agree.
Yeah, I do think it was kind of dumb that he kept, like, I don't know, like, kind of just, like, he was always slower than him in life. Like, he was faster as a swimmer, but in the process of figuring shit out, like, he was always one step behind Perf. Because Perf was always like, oh shit, or he always revealed what his intentions were to Perf. So he's like, oh, I found her phone, I'm gonna go restore it. And it gives Perf the opportunity to try to steal the phone, to try to, like, go to the store and grab the phone, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, he always kept telling him that. So it's like, I don't know, that does kind of counter my theory. But
Well, okay, I want to add on to your theory because if they are best friends, right? Why did Tan ask for his friend's birthday? That's your best friend.
that's true. That's true. Maybe they weren't best friends. Maybe they're just friends.
Fake friends.
Who knows? We're
but
speculating.
See, remember when they were beating up the guy at the abandoned place? He was like, "How long have we been friends for?" It's like they are saying that they're best friends. That's what that scene was trying to say.
Yeah, they've been friends probably since grade school.
Yeah.
Early
So
on.
you should know his birthday.
Yeah. So maybe that was part of his plan too. Yeah. But I gotta say, his plan was kind of dumb. He should have figured this shit out earlier and reported it to the police and, you know, have Perf arrested. But
But it was an accidental death. It wasn't like he purposely killed her too.
well, see, that Tan didn't know that it was accidental. Tan still thinks that she killed herself.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He didn't know that she was accidentally killed. Nobody knew that but Perf.
No, he knew that someone killed her.
Oh, you're right. Because supposedly she killed herself after getting pregnant. And then he was saying, like, I'm going to look for the guy who did this to her, right? Because someone got her pregnant and she killed herself. But eventually he reveals that she would never kill herself because at that day that she died or killed herself, she texted him saying, like, hey, I'm going to go, like, break up with this person first, and then I'm going to come to you. Like, I'm going to meet you at your house. So he's like, she would never do that.
Yeah. Well, that solved my biggest question, right?
Which is?
Because at the beginning, I'm like, why is he so invested in her death? Like, at the end of the day, she cheated on you. Like, why? They made his character where he was, like, motivated. He was, like, really trying to find the killer or, like, the killer, the boyfriend. And then after, like, once it gets to the end, you find out, like, oh, this whole time he knew that it wasn't a suicide. That's why he was motivated. So that answered my question on why he's so passionate about it.
I felt like the weakest parts of this film was the characters.
Who?
I feel like all of the characters were kind of weak. Like, I wish that this film showed more scenes with Tan. Because it just kind of threw him in, like, here and there to sort of propel the plot, pretty much. But, like, they never showed it from his perspective or what he was doing or, you know, like, his side of the story.
That's true.
And it's mostly, like, just Perf running into Tan and, like, almost getting caught and, like, you know, doing stuff like that and then, like, getting haunted. It was just him. And I feel like he was a really weak character. He wanted his friend's girl. He wanted to be his friend at swimming. And that's all his character was. Like, there was nothing else that, you know, made him interesting. Would you agree?
No, I disagree. Initially, I agreed. I feel like they should have showed how much Tan actually loved Ice.
Yeah?
I feel like that part was never portrayed. and then it makes you kind of feel for him more when she cheated and stuff. It's like, but this guy really loved her, you know. I disagree. I feel like, what's his name?
Perf.
Perf. I felt like Perf was a very interesting character.
Really?
Number one, he was competitive. Number two, he was a player. Like, that was kind of who he was. Like, he wanted to talk to girls, but he didn't want to be with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, fuckboy. Like, that was his character.
He was a fuckboy.
Yeah, he was fuckboy.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
he was the better looking friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would go for him over the other guy?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You know, that's true. Like, yeah, they built him up as like the playboy because even at that part where they were sneaking around and she was up there on the ledge with him,
Mm-hmm.
like Tan almost caught them, but he came up there. He's like, "Oh, you're with some girl, huh?" Like he
knew.
He said it in a way where it's like, "Yeah, this happens all the time."
Like how he wanted his friend's girl so bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after she dies, he moved on like hella quick. Already sleeping with another girl. So he's a player.
Well, I feel like her death didn't even really affect him.
I know, that's why I said he didn't really love her.
But like, how you like somebody so much that you want to steal them from your friend, and then when you get them pregnant, you don't want to be with them. You want to get rid of them like right away, and then it's just like, this guy's a fucking.
I have
asshole.
a question. Do you think he actually loved her?
No, he just want to sleep with her.
So my question would be, how come the day that she died, and she's like, I'm gonna go back and get with him, and he was like, no, like I love you.
He doesn't want someone else to have what he has, or have had, because even that other girl, there's another girl in this story too, that he dated briefly and slept with.
After Ice.
Protectionist again. And then she started kind of flirting with Tan, and then that got him hella jealous. Even though he's like, I'm done with you. Like, I can't deal with you right now.
Okay, so let's take a step back. What do you think? What's his name again? Proot?
Perf.
Perf. Okay. What do you think is Perf and Tan's relationship, and what do you think is Perf and Ice relationship? Like, do you think he was actually a good friend of Tan's?
Oh, I think their relationship was complicated. I think initially, I mean, they've known each other for a long time. They've been friends for a long time. I think Tan views Perf as a close friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think Perf was really jealous and envious of Tan's life because Tan is, he's rich. Because I mean, they don't really show his richness, but he does have a car, right? And he was able to pay for her operation, which is revealed later.
I didn't catch.
So he has money.
I didn't catch how rich
right?
he was. Yeah.
And then Perf doesn't have a father. He just lives with his mom. His mom was working like 2-3 jobs, never home. She's working late into the middle of the night. So like he's always getting haunted at home.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a job. All he does is swim for a living, but that doesn't make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he probably grew up like envying him and being jealous, So like when he saw that, hey, Tan has this hot girlfriend, like he's probably like, damn, I want her,
So not only is he a fuckboy, but he's also a low life fuckboy. Okay, so then let's move on to Ice and his relationship then.
Mm-hmm.
So finish your thought. Like, do you think he actually loved her?
Well, it doesn't tell you how long they've been together, but I felt like it was brief because she said they never slept together.
Yeah.
So they met, started dating, and then Perf already interjected himself and tried to steal her away.
Mm-hmm.
Successfully. But yeah, I think it was a brief, but I do think Tan did really like her. It's just like they never got to that point.
I agree with what you said. Like, I think Perf and Tan were good friends because they knew each other for a very long time. But yeah, I felt like Perf was always jealous of Tan because he was like a better swimmer, better life,
Mm-hmm.
hot girlfriend, For Perf and Ice, I felt like, yeah, he he is attracted to her, but I think it was more like he wanted to one up Tan.
Can I say I wish? I wish there were more scenes with Tan, but I also wish there was more scenes with Ice as well. Because I feel like she wasn't in the movie enough.
You know how we said that they didn't really show their relationship? The only time they showed was that scene where he couldn't teach her how to swim. And then Perv was like, I can teach you how to swim. And so that was kind of like how they got close. So they did kind of show a little part of Tan and Ice's relationship, but they never showed how much he loved her.
Did you like the ending?
I like the ending because it only makes sense for Tan to die, right? Because only one of you can live.
I mean, at that point.
Yeah, I felt like at the end of the movie, only one of the friends could live. I felt like Tan was kind of evil. Yeah, we didn't really get into that, if we thought Tan was a good or a bad guy. But I'm just saying, I like the ending. I felt like only one of them can live. I also thought it was cool how Perf won because Tan is eliminated. And then how there was like the ghosts at the end scene. That was kind of cool. Did you like the ending?
Yes and no. I mean, I feel like, yeah, it had to happen like that. One of them had to die. Unfortunately, it was Tan. So the bad guy in this movie, which is Perf, you can say he wins at the end, but he has to live with that guilt of, I killed my girlfriend, or accidentally killed my girlfriend, and I killed my best friend.
To win.
And
to have everything I have.
The ghost of the girl is always with him. At the end, she is there as a ghost watching him. So I felt like that last scene, he sees her. Like he actually sees her as a ghost all the time now. That's just my interpretation.
Is it like he's cursed? Is that what you're trying to say?
Not necessarily cursed. It's just like she is always haunting him for the rest of his life, and he can see that she's haunting him. So like he's always haunted by what he did. Mm-hmm. That's what I interpret it as.
You say you didn't like the movie the more you watched it. Mm-hmm. Why?
Well, just stuff that I said earlier. Like, I wish there were more scenes with the other characters. I feel like I didn't really get the motivations of each character enough. I feel like the movie being perf-centric was kind of boring because, like, the first time you watch it, you don't know if he's a good or a bad guy. You don't know exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. But like, after you know that he's a bad guy and what he did, it's kind of like, why am I watching this stupid character eat eggs all the time?
Okay. Okay. So that sums up our video.
Well, would you recommend this? I say yes. I think this is a worthy horror film to watch. Also, it's one of the better Asian horror films. I feel like we don't get a lot of good Asian horror films anymore. You know, after like The Grudge and stuff and The Ring and that 2000s run, like we just kind of stopped having good Asian horror films, and I feel like this is a under the radar one that people should watch.
Yeah, I recommend it too. Mm-hmm. I already said my reasoning at the beginning.
Well, what would be your rating?
I will give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Wow. You know, my first viewing of this film, I would have given it an 8 too. Like, I thought really highly of this film, but after watching it a few times, I kind of want to lower it to like a 6.5. Yeah. Because I felt like I wish there was a little bit more substance to these characters. And I do wish it was a little bit more scary, because it was scary the first time, and it stopped being as scary the second and third viewing, because I feel like the girl wasn't in there enough. Like, we needed the girl there, her presence there as, first of all, as a human, and also as a ghost, you know? Like, be more ghostly. Because she wasn't even haunting him that much, you know?
Yeah.
In my opinion, she wasn't haunting him as much as she probably should have. Like, she wasn't like, I hate you for killing me type of thing. It was just I'm here and I'm dead.
Well, I feel like she doesn't really have much to be angry at him about, though. Because once again, he didn't intentionally kill her. If he intentionally did, then that's a different story. It was accidental. So it made him less bad, in my opinion.
I still think it's his fault. Because he kind of like pushed her.
I know, they were struggling.
Yeah. So it's his fault.
But see, I'm saying, like, imagine if, like, she was pregnant, she never got the abortion, and then he killed her. Intentionally. Then that makes his character, like, 10 times worse.
But you know what makes him even worse is that he dragged her dead body all the way up the stairs just to throw her off to cover his own ass.
Mm-hmm. That's the worst thing about him.
And after he killed Tan, he put weights in his shoes and then threw him back in the pool just so he covered his own ass. Again.
Because if he doesn't kill Tan, or he doesn't do that, then it's going to lead back to...
Yeah, it's going to be like, why did this swimmer, like, die? Why did this amazing swimmer drown?
Right after his girlfriend died.
Mm-hmm.